Hello everyone, Medford Collectibles back here. You know what those boxes mean. We've got 2 PSA submissions that have returned. It's currently Friday, January 12th. The one on the left here is a modern submission that had come back a few days ago. And then today, vintage submission showed up. So I'm gonna do them both at once. The vintage submission on the right here is all 1960s cards, 1960s baseball. There's 14 cards here. The one on the left is from the 90 special that they had running in December. For one of the holiday specials, it's 36 cards. 36 cards in all 90 sports. So a little more modern, but it was a 90 sports special. So as always, you guys like the videos, give us a follow, give us a like. Medford Collectibles on all the platforms. Then 2 additional announcements before I get into this. We've got 2 card shows coming up we're going to set up at in the Charlotte area. So on February 3rd, we're going to be at the American Legion in Waxhaw, North Carolina, which is just south of Charlotte. I'll flash up a little flyer here on the screen. If any of you are in the area, please come attend. We'll be set up with 2 tables, and also we may bring some comics along. I bought a huge comic collection, and this show is going to be cards and comics, so I may try to get some of the comics ready that I bought. I think I bought like 7,000 comics, and maybe we'll try to move some of it at the show. And then the following weekend, February 9th and 10th, which is Friday and Saturday, we're going to be at the larger Charlotte show run by CLT Card Guy at Truist Field, which is the minor league field in Charlotte. It's a 2-day show, Friday, Saturday. Again, I'll flash up the flyer here, but we'll be there for both days with 2 tables, buying, selling, trading sports cards. So if you guys are in the Charlotte area, if you guys are making the trip in for the bigger 2-day show, stop by and see us. We'll have a booth. My brother's going to come in from Virginia as well to help me out. And my son will be there for at least a portion of the show to kind of help out as well and help man the table. And we'll be there for a few days. So come check us out. Again, both flyers will be shown here so you guys can see and plan for that. All right, so let's get into this. So first submission here. We'll do the vintage first. I think most of you that watch the channel enjoy the vintage stuff more than the modern stuff, but do vintage first. Again, 14 cards from the 60s. I submitted this on August 31st, and it came back today. So you're talking a little over 4 months to turn this. It isn't horrible, given that it was a special these are 15 bucks a card, is what the special was. So I have seen the grades. I have not actually seen the cards yet, though. I have not opened this yet. So I always look at the grades. I can't contain myself. I've got to look to see how I did. And I do have pre-grades. There's a pre-grade video out there. If you guys go back and look back in the August time frame, you'll see a pre-grade for these. To see what I estimated on these cards. Unfortunately, I didn't put these in order. But it's only 14 cards. I should be able to figure it out pretty fast. So let's just get into it. First up, we have a 1962 Topps Babe Ruth hits 60. I'd estimated a 4 on this. It came back a 3. What's weird is whenever PSA sent the grade reveal, I'm guessing this is why this is on top, by the way. When they sent the grade reveal, the label said 4. And then during QA, they updated it and changed it to 3. So I'm not surprised to see a 3 or a 4. It's kind of in the ballpark. But first one, Babe Ruth, 1960 Topps hits 60. Got a 3. Next up here. This is what I'm surprised by. So 1960 Bazooka Mantle Hand Cut PSA 4. I estimated a 3 on this, so did one better. And I'm surprised by this because they didn't upcharge me. The maximum value for this order was $200. And this is probably I don't know, close to a $1,000 card. It does have the crease in the back, which I knew was there. That's why I had it as a 3. The front looks good, so they still gave it a 4. But again, it's well over a $200 card, I know that, and they didn't upcharge me. So I guess it's a good win. Glad we didn't get upcharged. Next one here was a bit of a miss. This was a crack out. This came out of a CSG holder. This was in a CSG 5 holder. I cracked it out, hoping I could get a PSA 5. When I cracked it and looked at it, I did say it was going to get a 4, and it came back a 4. So lost a grade there, unfortunately. But 1962 Topps Maze PSA 4. Still a nice card. Just was secretly hoping to get that back in a 5 after I cracked it out. Next up, another good one here that was surprised they didn't upcharge me. So 1966 Topps Mickey Mantle, PSA 6. I had estimated a 5 on this. Came back a 6. And again, no upcharge. I mean, this card's well over $200. Not even close. There's plenty of comps to show that it's well over $200, but they didn't upcharge me. So I'm not going to complain about that, but happy to get the Mantle back in a 6. Next up here is a add to the Hall of Fame collection. Just for now, 1960 Fleer, Connie Mack, PSA 8. I had estimated a 7, so happy to get an 8. That's a good grade on a 1960 card with Hall of Famer here. Not too valuable. It's probably worth 70, 80 bucks on an 8, but happy to add that one for now to the Hall of Fame collection. We've got some Leaders cards. So 1966 Topps Leaders, Koufax, Cloninger, and Drysdale. 2 Hall of Famers on that one. PSA 4. I had estimated this one as a 3, so did one better. Came back a 4. I think I estimated a 3 because of the miscut here on the right, but came back a 4. We'll take that. Next up, 1960 Topps Mantle and Boyer. I had estimated here a 5 MC because the card was sharp, but you can see on the bottom here it is miscut. But they gave it a grade, which is a 4. So 5 MC and a 3 are probably equal. So to me, I did better than this one than expected, because I would have expected either a 3 or a 5 MC. So we will take the 4 on that one. Got another crack out here. This was a 1960 Topps Warren Spahn PSA 5. Was also in a CSG holder. CSG 4.5. So pretty close. CSG had it as 4.5. PSA gave it a 5. I wasn't sure how they treat it with this. There's kind of the print lines here. Didn't impact it as much as I guess I expected. I had estimated a 4 when I sent it in. So happy to get the 5 back on that one. Not an overly valuable card. This one kind of hurts. I thought this one looked really clean. It is off center. But this was in a SGC 5.5 holder. And I thought it was a 6. I estimated a 6. PSA came back a 5. So probably the same type of value as the SGC 5.5 would have been. But wasted my money on time and grading. I should have just kept it in the 5.5 holder in hindsight. But you win some, you lose some. So not terrible there. Next up, we have a 1962 Topps Stan Musial PSA 4. I estimated a 4 on this one as well. So it came back as expected. Another Leaders card, 1966 Topps. We've got Koufax, Veal, and Gibson, strikeout leaders. PSA 5, I had estimated a 4 on this one. So it came back 1 better than I expected. I think because the corners were so touched up, I docked it more than PSA did. It was also off center. So we'll take the 5 on that one. And then another Leaders card here. 3 Hall of Famers on this one. So you got 1966 Topps Homer Leaders, Billy Williams, Willie McCovey, Willie Mays. I estimated a 4, came back a 4. So not too many of these Leaders cards. We have 3 Hall of Famers, so it's pretty cool. Not a hugely valuable card, but we'll take that in a 4. Another crack out here. Let's see if I have this one. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. So this was a 1965 Topps Jim Hunter SP rookie card, BBG 6.5. I didn't like the BBG holder. This was in my Hall of Fame collection. Sent it to get graded. I estimated that this would come back a 6 with PSA. Came back a 6, which is actually pretty good to see, because sometimes these BBG holders, they grade like a full grade. I've seen them 2 grades higher than what actually comes back. So to have it within a half grade, pretty pleased with that. Take the PSA 6. This will stay in my collection. I'm not selling it. So not too bad there. Only a half grade dip from BBG to PSA. We'll take that. Last but not least, for the vintage stuff, we got a 1960 Fleer Lou Gehrig. Looks like an alien in this picture. It's all roughed up, but his eyes kind of look green. Came back a PSA 3. I estimated a 3 as well. This isn't a very valuable card, but it is a Gehrig, and it was worth getting graded just to move it. It's probably worth 30, 40 bucks in a low grade. So came back as expected as a 3. So to start, 2 pretty good surprise there with the Mantles in the sense that they didn't upcharge me. I should have been upcharged for those cards. There's no question about it. They didn't, which, great. I'm not going to argue with them, but they definitely missed an opportunity to upcharge me. I would not have complained if they did, but we'll take it. So a win's a win, I guess. All right, let's get into the modern order here. So again, this is 36 cards. There's a bunch more crackouts in this lot as well. See, one card didn't get graded, and when you see the card didn't grade, it doesn't really make any sense why they didn't grade it, but it happens sometimes. So, especially with these 90s cards, junk wax cards, sometimes they bring them back as min size, and that's what happened to this one. It's not a valuable card, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. I just thought it was going to be a 10, so I sent it in. I will say some of the crackouts in this submission went very well. That were great surprises. And we had a couple that weren't so good. So I'm just going to go through how they're sitting here. First up, this is a crackout. I bought this in that large collection this time last year. This was already graded by CSG. This was a CSG 8. I cracked it out. When I cracked it out, I could see the surface scratches. I know how difficult PSA and most grading companies are on this card. I estimated a 7 or an 8, and it came back a 7. So, would love to see an 8. Definitely lost some value by cracking this, even though it was in CSG. But we'll take the 7. That was on the low end of what I expected. So, not really worth to crack it and lose a grade, but it's okay. We'll take it. Next up here, another example of one probably not worth grading in hindsight. I thought this would have been a 9 or a 10, just like I think with most of these you're going to see. This one came back in 8, 1994 Pacific Barry Sanders Gems of the Crown. Just a short print card, pretty cool looking card. I'm not sure why I got the 8, probably just some surface stuff, but not really too valuable an 8 there. And again, I didn't mention it, but these cards were sent in December, came back in right about a month with the PSA special that was running in December. So these cards were 16 bucks a piece to grade and came back fast. So quick turn, happy to see that. Seems like the modern stuff is moving pretty quick, whereas the vintage stuff's taking a little longer with PSA. Next up, 1994 Upper Deck Fun Packs promotional sample or promotional use only. You see it across the card there. PSA 9. Again, I would have expected a 9 or a 10 on this, so pretty cool card. Not too many of these graded with the promotional use on it, which is why I graded it. So take that on the Griffey. Next up, we got a 1995 Studio Greg Maddox Gold, kind of a credit card, PSA 10. These are easy to see. I mean, if they're centered, there's not a whole lot of scratches or anything on this. Pretty easy grade to get a 10. Not highly valuable, but we'll take the 10 on the Maddox. This one was a bust. This was a complete bust. It probably wasn't worth it to begin with. Coming back in 8 is definitely not worth it. So 1995 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. Electric Diamond. This was in an advanced grading holder as a 9. Came back from PSA as an 8. When I looked at it, I didn't really see much wrong with it, but probably something I missed. There might be a little dent there in the corner or something. So as an 8, definitely not worth it to get this graded. So chalk this one up to losing our $16, which again happens. There's some in here that made up for it though. 1992 Topps McDonald's Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball's Best. Thought this had a chance at a 10. Came back at 9. Not overly surprising there. Card looks pretty good. There's probably some kind of flaw in here that gave it the 9 instead of a 10. But cool card anyways. This one kind of hurt. I only said a 6. I thought it'd be a high grade. Now there is some of the greeny you kind of see on Johnny Damon's shirt, and I'm guessing that's what impacted the grade. It's easier to see that it's in the slab than when I had it raw, but this came back a 7. Could be some centering stuff. Again, I thought this would be a 10. That's the only reason why I sent it in. It came back a 7, so I wasn't even close. Again, this happens sometimes. I don't know if anything else is wrong besides that kind of the coloring on the surface. But This, again, $16 lost, basically. Might get a few bucks back for that and cut into some of our losses. Next up here, we have another crack out. 1996 Pinnacle Fan Fest King Griffey Jr. PSA 8.5. CSG had this as a 9. So I've had success moving from CSG into PSA at higher grades, especially on vintage stuff. This one came back a half grade lower. So probably about the same value as being in a CSG 9 slot, to be honest. Thought this would be a 9 or a 10 with PSA. Didn't really see a lot of issues with it, but lost a half grade there. So far, the cards you've seen have not been very good. Promise it gets better. Definitely some good surprises in here. Next up, this is a pretty good one. 1991 Stadium Club Griffey Jr. and Senior Charter members. PSA 10. So we'll take that. Like that card. That's a good one. We got a Peyton Manning second year, 1999 SP Authentic PSA 9. Only said this because I thought it'd be a 10. So 9, I'll get my money back on it, but not really that valuable on a 9. There's like a crack in the slab or something there. What is that? Something on the slab there. See that? There's a little slice in the slab or something.
Yeah, there's like a scratch.
Yeah. So not much there. We do have another one here. 1999 Upper Deck Ionics Peyton Manning, PSA 10. So, happy to get that one by a 10. It's not overly valuable, probably 50 bucks or so. Take it. This might be a pop one, this one right here. 1995 Ultra Steve McNair Gold Medallion. It's a cool looking card in his Notre Dame uniform. Or not Notre Dame. What do you play for? Tech? No, Alcorn State. Looks like Notre Dame. Alcorn State. Not even close. So Steve McNair obviously passed away. I think this is a pop one in this card. I thought it had a chance at 10, came back at 9. I don't know what kind of value this will bring, because there's none other graded this high. I think it's a pop one. So that's why I graded it. But we'll see what that one does. Alcorn State. Not Notre Dame or Tech. Not close. Next up, TO 1996 Collector's Choice Update. PSA 10. TO rookie. Probably 50, 60 bucks in that grade. Again, sent it in because I thought it would be a 10. Same with this one here. 1992 Hoops. NBA Championship. Jordan and Drexler. Came back at PSA 10. So happy to get that one back in a 10. It's a pretty cool card. 1994 Collector's Edge Barry Sanders Gold. It's the Collector's Edge first day. Came back at a 10 as well. So some of these cards, this one's serial numbered 4446. I don't know how out of how many. But this is a cool card. Happy to get a 10 on that one. Card's really moving around the slab a lot. It's like shaking in the slab. It's not very firm in there. Another pretty cool 10 here. 1999 Top Stars, Edgerrin James Star Cards, 4 stars. It is a rookie card. Again, pretty low pop card in a PSA 10. That's why I sent it in. It's one of the short prints from that year, the 4 stars. PSA 10. So we will take that one as well. It's a cool card. Again, I'm not sure how valuable that is in a PSA 10. Next up here, just gonna mess up the slab. 1999 Collector's Choice Update, Jerry Rice Record Breaking Trio, got a PSA 9. It's a flashy card. Thought I had a chance at 10, but it's a die cut, so not too surprised that it's a 9. So we'll take that. Next up, 1993 Skybox Premium, Michael Jordan, PSA 10. No, I sent in because I thought it'd be a 10, came back a 10. So we will take that one as well. But these cards are really shaking. I don't know if you guys can see that. They're really shaking around the slab. I mean, moving.
Oh, yeah. Looks like they're in the wrong size slab.
Yeah, they're not secure in there at all. It's kind of concerning. Yeah. Next up here, I thought this one had to be a chance at a 9 or 10. Came back an 8. 1990 Top Sticker Cards, King Griffey Jr. Got some no names on the front and Griffey's on the back and the Superstar sticker. So it came back an 8. Was hoping for a 9 or a 10 there. This is a great surprise here. This was a 1994 Flair Hot Gloves CSG 9. I didn't see anything wrong with the card, so I cracked it. Came back a PSA 10. So Flair Hot Gloves PSA 10 Griffey. This is pretty valuable, probably a couple $100 in this grade. Cool looking card. These are collectible card for the Hot Gloves. A lot of people like these. So happy to get back that one back in a 10. There's another pretty cool one here. 1994 Leaf Perry Bonds Power Brokers PSA 10. So it's got the fireworks. Pretty cool looking card. Thought it looked really good. Came back a 10. Lastly from that stack, 1996 Flair Cowperkin Jr. Promotional Sample, PSA 10. So, not sure what the promotional sample of this is worth. You don't really see too many of these, especially in a 10 grade. So I don't know. We'll see what that one is, but thought it looked good, so I sent it in. Came back a 10. So we'll take that. All right, next stack. We've got a Barry Bonds Power Plus Gold Medallion. God bless you. Got the kids up here with me. 1996 Ultra Power Plus Gold Medallion, Barry Bonds, PSA 9. Was hoping for a 10. Came back a 9. So one off there. Not overly surprising. Card that age to get a 9. Got a Mantle here. 1994 Upper Deck Mickey Mantle All Time Heroes, PSA 10. Challengers when I sent this card in. Thought it would be a 10. Came back a 10. Thin card. Kind of easy to see if it's going to grade well. So happy to get a 10 there. And 1995's like Big Sticks Barry Bonds. Another cool looking card. Hologram. Kind of one of the first hollows early on in the mid-90s. PSA 9. I was hoping for a 10 here. But again, this is a pretty cool looking card. So we'll take a 9 on that one. We got another crack out here. Another good surprise. The Wayne Gretzky 1996-97 Topps Picks 500 Club. Was a CSG 8.5. Took a risk here. Thought it was better than that. Came back a PSA 9. This card's kind of all over the place when you look at comps. Some are good, some are not so good. But I figured I'd take a chance. Another holographic card from 96. Pretty cool card, hockey card. So we will take the 9 on that. That was what I was hoping for. Another Jordan here. Again, thought it would be a 10. Came back a 9. Not overly surprised by that. 1993 Skybox Premium. Another Bonds. 1995 Donruss Bomb Squad with Bonds on the front. Albert Bell on the back. PSA 9. Another cool looking card. A lot of these 90s inserts are pretty cool. Baseball, basketball, football inserts are pretty cool looking. So we'd love to see a 10 there, but we'll take a 9 as well. Got another crack out here. This one was not a good one. This was a 1994 Leaf Gold Stars CSG 9. This is from my original collection, I think, from when I was a kid. PSA gave it an 8. So the corner here on the bottom's turned up. I can see it in here in the slab. I don't know if it was turned up that bad when I sent it. Might have been. Not sure. Thought the card looked really clean. Did have some edge wear in the back and the top, so I knew that was going to be there. Card's number out of 10,000. So would love to see a 9. That's what I was hoping for. Came back an 8. So unfortunate, but that happens sometimes. Here's the card that didn't grade, which is when you see it, it's kind of silly. It's the same. It's min size required. It's the same kind of card as the Mantle that got a 10. I sent this other Mantle in because I thought it would be a 10. This one got min size. So I'm sure there's no reason for him to trim this card. I'm sure somebody pack pulled this and it just, I don't know, must have came factory short. Because I don't even know why somebody would put this in a screw down to compress the edges or anything. So it didn't measure. Thought it would be a 10. The fact that it didn't grade, I got refunded for it. So it's not that big of a deal. Not like I lost a lot there. Just kind of funny that that one came back min size. Next up, we've got a Deion Sanders 1995 Finest. This one has some of the the surface issues. You can kind of see the coloring going there. Thought it could still get potentially a 9, which is why I sent it in. Came back an 8. So not too big of a difference. I knew the surface would be a problem. I didn't know how much it would impact it, but the rest of the car looks sharp. So came back an 8. Not much there really. Not overly valuable. Got another TO rookie, 1997 TO rookie, the Zenith, kind of the gold background, came back at PSA 10. So happy with that one. 1990 Hoops, Michael Jordan. Thought it would be a 10, came back a 9. So there's why I sent it in. Thought I had a chance at a 10. But 9 isn't terrible. Next up, we got a Joe Montana 1992 Collector's Edge. This one I thought looked really clean. Thought I had was almost a sure thing for a 10, which is why I sent it. Came back a 10. It was great centering. Black borders, was no coloring on it. Green borders in the back, nothing. It is serial number as well, 24623. So who knows how many they made of this? Probably like 50,000. But pretty low pop card in the PSA 10, I think because of the dark borders. So we'll take that one. This was the last great surprise in the order. So this one, we got the Shaq rookie, 1993 Topps Finest, Atlantic's Finest Refractor. I bought this in the SGC 7 holder for like 55 bucks. And when I got it, and I looked at it, I was like, well, it's off center, but it doesn't look like a 7. I thought it looked way better than a 7 from what I could see in the holder. So I decided to crack it, send it to PSA. Was hoping for an 8, was what I thought was realistic based on the centering. PSA gave it a 9. And again, didn't upcharge me for this card. So the max value in this order, I think it was another $200 max value with this special. This card's coming for 400 bucks. They didn't upcharge me. So we will take it. I did not expect to get a 9 in that card. I thought an 8 was likely just because of how sharp it was. You can see how off-center it is left to right. Pretty substantial, but it must have just squeaked in the qualification for a PSA 9. So again, I will not argue with them. Looks like they got it. There's another scratch in the slab. They're really beating up these slabs when they're sending them. Got a scratch right on the side of the slab.
Looks like there's a little smudge on there or something.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate because it just ruins like the optics of the card. It looks like it's on the card. I don't know. I'll see if I can get that off. But PSA 9 from an SGC 7 on the Shaq Refractor. So good win there. Last card. Marshall Falk rookie, 1994 Topps. 1994 Upper Deck. Thought I had a chance at a 10 is the only reason why I sent it. Came back a 9. So nothing overly valuable there. 10 would have been okay. 9, not really so much. So that is it. 2 orders came back. Again, they got the vintage on the right here. Got the modern on the left. I don't know how many 10s I got out of the order. Again, it was 36 cards. Didn't really keep track of how many 10s it was. But for 90s cards, we got a decent amount. I'm happy with the number we got. I know that. Let's see if I can count them up real quick. There's 2. There's 3. 4. 5, 6, 7. There's 8. There's 9, 10, 11. So we're double digits in the 10s. Let's see what else we got here. There's 12. Oh, we're on a 9 streak here. Oh, 13, 14, 14. So 14 out of 36 came back 10s from that era. Again, I'll take that. A bunch of didn't expect to get 10s anyways. But pretty pleased with that. Again, some good surprises in there. So that's the video. Again, if you guys like the videos, give us a follow, give us a like. Medford Collectibles on all the platforms. Again, check us out in the 2 card shows I showed at the beginning, coming up in February 3rd at the American Legion in Waxhaw, North Carolina. Then February 9th and 10th at Truist Field, which is the minor league stadium for the Charlotte Knights downtown. We'll be there the 9th and the 10th set up as well. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.